Hello everyone, I'm Anuja and welcome to the first episode of Pronunciation Pitfalls. So, we practice speaking English, we pay attention towards grammar, but often end up in trouble when it comes to pronunciations. अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि कुछ words दिखते तो कुछ और है, पर उनका pronunciation कुछ और होता है. Feels like betrayal, right? Well, I'm here to help you. So today in our first episode, we're going to see 10 words which we use in our daily life, but we often end up mispronouncing them. And after those 10 words, there is some interesting fact you will definitely gonna love. So without any delay, let's get started. Our first word for the episode is epitome. Really? No. It is pronounced as epitome. Epitome, not epitome, epitome. So you can use this word in a situation when you want to tell somebody, okay, that person is the perfect example of any quality. Someone can be a perfect example of honesty, kindness, etc., etc. So when you want to say that he or she is a perfect example of something, then you can use this word. Okay, here I have a sentence for you. He is the epitome of kindness. वो kindness की एक मिसाल है, right? So epitome you can consider it as an English translation of मिसाल. So whenever you want to say वो उस चीज की मिसाल है, वो ईमानदारी की मिसाल है, so you can say he is the epitome of honesty or she is the epitome of honesty. So we use this word whenever you want to say that he or she is the perfect example of something. All right. Our second word is cliché. It's not cleach or click or whatever. It's cliché, and the E you use in this particular word is a different one. So cliché means something which has lost its enthusiasm or significance over time, an overused idea. For example, whenever you watch, let's say, an action movie, we often see that there is this hero who comes from a village and he eventually ends up saving the world with his great muscular powers, whatever the powers are. So an idea which has been used too much that it has lost its originality. All right. So cliche means whenever we say like, okay, wahi ghisi piti story hai ye, wahi ghisi piti baat hai. So it actually means something which has lost its originality with time. So when a movie plot is too predictable, wherein you are seeing a hero saving the world at the last second of the movie, in the last second of the movie, so you can say that this movie, the scene is such a cliche. It has been like so mundane since long and now it has lost its originality, right? So cliche means something which has been overused, an overused idea or a phrase that has lost its originality. Our third word is chaos. No, it is pronounced as chaos. Chaos. Chaos means a state of complete disorder or confusion when everything is messed up and you just can't breathe for a second, right? For example, if you go to someone's house and if you see their room, you find that everything is messed up. They lack organization. So you can say this room is complete chaos, right? So, for example, you're stuck in a traffic during rain and there is no way to get out of that traffic. There are cars here and there. You just cannot get out. So you can say the traffic during rain was absolute chaos, something which is disorganized or something which is very, confused, sort of complete disorder. So then you use the word chaos. Okay. Now, the fourth word is genre, not genre or no j sound. There is no j sound, right? There is genre, the sound which you use while pronouncing the word vision, right? Vision. So you use the sound of j in it, j, right? So genre means a category or a style of something. Let's say art, music, or literature. Okay, let's talk about movies. I love movies which belong to the genre of science fiction. You might love comedy movies. So that's a specific genre of the movies. That is comedy, rom-com, science fiction, thriller, etc., etc. So when you're talking about your Netflix preferences, right? You can love comedy web series or you can love science fiction web series. So that's a specific genre you are talking about. You can say it in a sentence like, my favorite movie genre is psychological thriller. So that's how you use the word genre. And let me know in the comments below what is your favorite genre when it comes to movies. Now, this word is a bit tricky. It is most oftenly mispronounced as hyperbole, but no. The correct pronunciation of this word is hyperbole. Hyperbole. All right? So it's not hyperbole or it's not hyperbole, it's hyperbole. So it basically means when you overemphasize something. किसी चीज को बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा कर बोलना. That is when you're using hyperbole, right? Okay, so in a situation wherein somebody is frustrated after telling you something a lot, many times, they often end up saying, I have told you a million times, but still you don't get this. मैंने तुम्हें 1000 बार, मैंने तुम्हें लाखों बार बताया है, फिर भी तुम्हें समझ नहीं आता है. Well, this is hyperbole. They didn't tell you a million times or 1,000 times. They just mean that they have told you an ample amount of times that they are now frustrated. So they are using hyperbole. In a sentence, you can say that. Okay, when somebody is saying, I have told you a million times and you just cannot understand what I'm saying, so somebody can tell you, don't take him literally, he's just using hyperbole. So basically, they don't mean, they are not saying that they have told you thousand times something. No, they are just overemphasizing their statement that they have told you a lot many times about something and still you've not got this. So it can be used as he's just using hyperbole, right? So our next word is quinoa. Quinoa. It is very popular these days amongst so many health conscious people. So it is quinoa. Quinoa. And the spelling is sort of a tricky one, but of course nothing is tricky when it comes to learning with enthusiasm. So it is pronounced as quinoa. It is a nutritious grain-like seed that's very high in protein and is most preferred by health conscious people because they want protein. They want their, they want their energy to be boosted up. So it is used in healthy meals and salads. So now, whenever you go to the restaurant, you can perfectly say, hey, can I have a quinoa salad, please? Okay, so the pronunciation of this is quinoa. Now, our seventh word is schedule or schedule. How do you pronounce it? Confusing? Well, you pronounce it as schedule also, and you pronounce it as schedule also. So it means a plan or a timetable that shows when things are going to happen. So whenever you want to plan something, you make a proper schedule that as to at what time I'll do this, at what time I'll do that. So you can choose either ways of pronouncing it. Schedule is the British and Indian way of pronouncing this word, and when it comes to schedule, it is the American way of pronouncing this word, right? So you can just say, I have a very tight schedule this afternoon. Well, these days we have a so damn busy schedule. Office, studies, household chores, and in this busy schedule, it's very difficult to find someone जो हमें हमारे schedule के हिसाब से English सिखाए. But don't worry, I have a solution for you. Just search EnglishLearners.in and you will get your personalized tutors for everything, from pronunciations to grammar to personalized one-on-one sessions just on your fingertips. So quickly book your free trial at just ₹49. Link is in the description below. So let's come back to the video. Now our eighth word in the episode is subtle. Here you don't pronounce B. It is simply subtle, right? Subtle means something that is very slight, delicate, or hard to notice. You can hardly notice taste of, let's say, sugar in tea. Okay, when you put a very little bit of sugar in tea, so you can hardly notice the taste of sugar. You can hardly notice that sweet taste, right? So when you can also use it in a situation where when there are two things and there is hardly any difference between the two things. For example, consider twins. There is hardly any difference between them. There is a very subtle difference between them through which their mother or their father is able to notice them, right? So it is pronounced as subtle with silent B, and you can use it in a situation where there is a very subtle difference between two objects, or where there is a very subtle hint, there is a subtle hint of something into something, right? So there's a sentence, there is a subtle hint of lemon in this tea. इस चाय में लेमन की बहुत ही हल्की सी टेस्ट आ रही है, बहुत ही हल्का सा टेस्ट है, that is hard to notice. So you can use subtle where there is very minute hint of something, or very, it is like really hard to notice whether something is present or not, right? Now, our ninth word is archive. It's not archive, it's archive, archive. So basically, it's a collection of old documents, records, or historical material kept for reference. Okay, whenever you use Instagram and whenever you post this story, and after 24 hours, where does it go? It goes to your archive section, wherein you can access those images or videos which you have put on your story after 24 hours as well. So they go to your archive section where they are stored. So now they are old documents for you, right? So in a situation where you're finding old documents or digital folders, you can use this word. In a sentence, you can use it like, you can find the 2010 reports in the company archive. So there's this company archive where a lot of old documents are collected. And if you want to find the documents which are from the year 2010, you can refer to the archive section of the company. So that is what archive means, wherein it simply means it's like a library of old documents, old files. So also, when it comes to Instagram or any other social media app, you can see your old photographs or old stories that you posted in the archive section. So it is pronounced as archive and not archive. Okay. Next word, and the last word for today's episode is debunk. Debunk. Debunk means to falsify a myth. Myth क्या होता है? Myth is simply झूठी अफवाह, right? तो किसी झूठी अफवाह का पर्दाफाश करना is debunking, right? To prove that something is false or to show that a popular belief is wrong, that is called debunking. For example, there is this popular myth that when you're walking on a road and if a black cat crosses your way, something's bad going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. Well, that's a myth. That's a very popular myth. And when somebody proves this, that nothing bad is going to happen, that is known as debunking. Okay. Okay, you must have come across so many WhatsApp messages that claim that this is going to happen, that will going to happen if you do this, that. So that's simply WhatsApp forward myths, right? So whenever you show that this WhatsApp forward myth is fake, you are debunking that myth. So in a sentence, you can use it like, the doctor went on TV to debunk the myths about the new virus. We all know when COVID-19 was there, we all were dealing with so many myths that if you just beat your utensils, the virus would die. If you do this, the virus would die. Well, those were so funny myths, right? So, like, whenever someone was saying, no, nothing's going to happen by doing this, okay, just protect yourself, be inside your homes, and that's really going to help you. So, that is known as debunking the myth. When you falsify a particular myth, when you say that a particular popular belief is very wrong, is false, right? So in this sentence, there is a doctor who went live, who went in public to debunk the myth about the new virus. All right. So these were the 10 words which we learned. Let's just quickly revise them by this list. This one is epitome, not epitome, epitome. When you are saying that somebody is a perfect example of something, you use this word. He is the perfect example of kindness. Okay, so this is the word epitome. Next word is, okay, this is cliché. Cliché. Cliché means when something has lost its originality because it has been overused for a long time now. So whenever you're saying that, whenever you're seeing that there's a movie wherein there's a hero who's from a village or from a humble background and he ends up saving the world, at the last second of the movie. So that's basically a cliche. This is such a cliche. Next, chaos. Chaos means when something is disorganized, very disordered, and like very traffic jam system. So whenever you are stuck in a traffic jam, so that's an absolute chaos. Next word is genre. Genre. It is pronounced as genre, not genre. It is genre. The same pronunciation you see in the word vision. Okay, genre refers to a category or style of something, any art, book, or literature. For example, my favorite genre is science fiction when it comes to movies. What is your favorite genre? Let me know in the comments below. Next word is hyperbole, not hyperbole or hyperbole, it's hyperbole. Hyperbole means when you are overemphasizing something while saying things. For example, if somebody tells you something for a lot many times, they say this word, they say this sentence, I have told you a million times and still you don't get this. Well, they haven't told you a million times. They're just using hyperbole. They are just overemphasizing the fact that they have told you something a very large, a very, an ample amount of times. Next word is quinoa. It is a very healthy salad, protein-rich salad, which is very famous amongst people who are health conscious. So it is pronounced as quinoa, Quinoa, is quinoa, quinoa. This is how it is pronounced. Next word is schedule, or you can also pronounce it as schedule. Well, simple, when you use the word pronunciation sh, it is British pronunciation and also it is Indian pronunciation. And when you say it as schedule, it is the American pronunciation. So it's just a matter of regions. Well, you can pronounce it both the ways. And you know what the schedule means? It basically means when you plan something out, right? Next word is subtle, with the B is silent over here. Subtle means when something is very hard to notice, where there is a minute hint of something. For example, there is a subtle hint of lemon in the tea. बहुत ही हल्की hint है इस चाय में lemon की, right? So something which is very hard to notice, which is hardly visible, or something wherein there is not much difference between the two. For example, twins. The next word is archive. It is a library of old documents, and when it comes to Instagram, you have your old stories saved in the archive section. It's not archive, it's archive. Archive. Okay. Next, and the last word for this session is debunk. Debunk is to falsify any myth, which is very popular, right? For example, if I tell you that, if I show you, if I prove to you that when that black cat passes your or crosses your way, nothing bad is going to happen. That's basically debunking the myth, right? Now, as I've promised you before that, at the end of the session, I'm going to give you some bonus interesting facts, and you're definitely going to love it. So let's come to that. Okay, you have come across these two words. They seem very, very similar, but they are totally different. Their meanings are totally different. And that difference is just because this single letter in both of these spellings. So whenever you use the letter A in stationary, it means that you're standing still, you're not moving. For example, the car is stationary. That means it is standing still, it is not moving. Okay? So whenever you use the letter A, the alphabet A in stationary, that means standing still and not moving. Now, when it comes to another stationary, that is whenever you're using the letter E in stationary, that refers to stationary objects like pencil, pen. Whenever I want to buy files for my project, I go to a stationery shop. Now, in this case, I will be using the alphabet E. Okay, so that is how you differentiate between stationary and stationary. Both have the same pronunciations, but their meanings are totally different. Their spellings are totally different. Okay, so the one with A means standing still, not moving, and the one with E means items like pens, pencil, eraser. This is what the difference is. Now, you must have come across so many Gen Z words these days. Let's learn just 2 Gen Z words for today. One is Riz. This is the most common Gen Z word that I've come across. Riz. Riz means charisma. Okay, that ability to attract someone romantically or in a flirtatious way. So you must have seen those people who just by their looks they attract everybody's attention. So that is pure unspoken riz that I'm talking about. They have this unspoken charisma, right? So riz means when you have this ability to capture attention of people, you have this charisma in a romantic and flirtatious way. All right. And the last Gen Z vocabulary for today is crash out. When you're really angry, you just lose your cool, then you use this word. Okay. Imagine you have a very important meeting to attend and electricity just went off. There is no Wi-Fi connection now. You cannot connect with the meeting. So it is a situation where you might end up crashing out. So here we can use it in a sentence like, I'm about to crash out if this Wi-Fi doesn't start working in the next 5 minutes. That simply means when you lose your cool, when you lose your temper, and when you're no longer able to maintain your patience, right? And that's it for today's video. If you gained something, like this video and don't forget to practice these words in the comment section. I would love to see your sentences. And for your personalized sessions, book your free trial now. See you in the next episode. Till then, bye-bye.